Hi Kimberly, Kate Medini here. I hope you're doing well. Wanted to thank you for your post and give a quick response if I may. You had touched on a couple of things in your post that I felt like were important, but also could easily be brushed aside. And when I read about these couple things, they also stood out to me. So first you talked about when, as counselors, we're trying to explain informed consent and confidentiality to minors or vulnerable population groups, that because of their potential limited understanding, that we have to present the information in a way that is understandable. And I guess that really makes me think through changing my idea of what that might look like. Before I thought that's just a blanket statement that we put on all of our documents and hand it to our clients regardless of who they are. And now I'm realizing that no, it's actually probably pretty important that we cater the information, that we change it to present it in a way that is understandable to that specific client without leaving out any of the pertinent information. So there is a need to make sure that we're not just giving some blanket statement and expecting everyone to be able to comprehend it in the same way. This would also be true with people maybe that don't have a great command of the English language as well. So we would want to be culturally aware also with the words we use as well. So anyways, glad you brought that up. Also, I was surprised to find out that the elderly population were among the most vulnerable. I mean, it makes sense, but I guess I had not given it a huge amount of thought before. And obviously we, as counselors, have a duty to protect vulnerable populations. So I'm glad you brought that up. You mentioned section A2D in the 2014 Code of Ethics, which states that we have an obligation as counselors to balance the ethical rights of minors and vulnerable populations with the responsibilities of parents that need to protect their children. And you had mentioned in the article that you read that there's a lot of diverse aspects on how we do this and really how we confront a lot of complex and multi-layered issues within the counseling realm, and that there's not a lot of I guess consensus, I think is the word you used, when it comes to some of the like confidentiality and informed consent. You ended your post by saying it felt to you like there was just more questions than answers, and I couldn't agree more. I feel the same way. I want like concrete steps, and I feel like there's a lot of gray area happening when it comes to confidentiality and informed consent, especially this week as we talked about how that pertains to group counseling, vulnerable populations, minors, and family counseling. So I hope that as our profession continues to develop, that along with that, we will develop more of a consensus on some of these very complex topics. Thanks for your input, Kimberly.